tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make a simple game, like a scrolling game. So first thing which I'm going to do is I'm going to title this game. Before I come up with a proper title, I'm just going to call it game. I'm going to choose a sprite, and in this sprite, what you're going to want to do is find a sprite that has any character, like a flying animation or a walking animation. So like bear walking, Avery walking, bat walking cannot work because it's facing the camera. You have to find one that's either facing left or right. So any character that has a left to right walking cycle, like dragon can work. If you take away the fire one, maybe if you want to use that. Dove will not work because you see it's going towards the camera. Anyone, giraffe would work. Griffin would work. It would be a good one. Grasshopper, hare, anyone with basically like a left to right facing walking cycle. Lion. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to be using this one right here. So what you're going to do, you're going to go into events. When flag clicked, you're going to then want to grab a forever if then, go into sensing, grab a key space pressed, go to right arrow, go up into motion, change X by 10, here, right, left arrow, -10. So that's what that's going to look like. Since we have a simple scrolling kind of back and forth game. So if you want to use any character in the game, it doesn't matter if it's facing or not, like a basket or like a broom, if you want to have a character like that on a broom that doesn't have a walking cycle or flying cycle on it, you can just keep it. You can just keep, you don't really have to do the next couple steps. Or if you just want to have a basket game where you have to collect fruits or something like that, you can just use this kind of coding to get the basket to go left and right. Basically, so then what you're going to want to do is go into, now if you're going to want to have a fruit, the first thing which one to go into direction, change that to point to the middle where the two arrows are kind of facing each other. The middle one, click it to that one. Go into motion, point in direction, 90 degrees, and put that right there in pointing direction. Change this to -90. Like that. So then you have a simple. Now if you want to create a flying character that doesn't have a like a cycle, like a walk cycle or a flying cycle, like someone on a broom or something, or like just a flying character, you can use this to make him go back and forth. You don't need to do the next step. Because our character is a walking cycle that I chose, you're just going to want to take a next costume and just put him right in between there. Go into events or control, or go into wait 1 second. I'd like to change it to 0.05, but you can probably change it to 0.4 if you want to. That's just the one I like to use. Duplicate that, put it up there. So now you have your character's fully functional walking. Oh, I put 0.5. I meant I like to put to 0.05. So you don't have to put 0.05. I just think it looks easier when I'm editing stuff and changing the numbers than just 0.5. So there's a simple walking cycle for your character. Now, obviously, this is a tutorial. It's a quick little thing. It's not an in-depth tutorial on actually making a game. So this is very kind of brief. You can go into the setting, the coding. You can obviously change this to, if you want to go a little bit faster, to 15 when going in a direction. Like if you want to go to 15, if you want to change this, if that's not, I want to change it to 0.4, or if you don't want to have a weight at all, if you like the way, if you like it like with 0 seconds in between, if you like it normally, then you can just keep it. You don't have to put the weight. I think I like 0.4. I'll keep it at 0.4. So then what you're gonna want to do is go and so I will be showing you how to make a sprint thing in the next tutorial. Yeah, I'll say that for the next tutorial. So basically what you're going to do then is get one flag clicked, events, control, forever, if then. Then you want to go into grab n less than and a greater than. So less than and greater than. Grab the less than, put it in the top, greater than, put it in the bottom. Grab a X position out of here and put it in the top, put it in the bottom. So now this is what once you grab this, then what you're gonna want to do is position your character on the X position anywhere that you want your character when it goes to like the left or to the right, where you want them to disappear off the screen. So basically as far as you can put it, and then put that in the top one for the closest left. So mine is -263, so that's what I'm going to put right there. Then go and do the same thing. Where do you want them to disappear on the other side? I'm going to put -285. Yeah, that's good. 285. Did I say negative? I meant positive. 282. Then you want to go on to grab a set X2. Set X2, put them back down here to where you want them to reappear on once they go off the screen over there. So I'm just going to put it like right there. So -212 and put that in the top one. So -212. And do the same thing for the bottom one. What do you want them to appear at? 237. So for the where you want them to disappear and appear off the right side of the screen, and in the left side, this number cannot, right here where my mouse cursor is, cannot be greater than this number right here, because the top number is where it's going to disappear off the screen, and this is where it's going to appear when it goes off the screen to this side. So if this number was say 235 or whatever, it's lower than this number. So when it appears over here at 237, the minute you make it go over to this way, it will go through the 235 mark, and it will appear on the other side, because that's what that code says. So these numbers cannot be, or for this one, it can't be less than this number, and this one can't be greater than that number. So basically what we have then is we have a simple background scrolling script. Oh, I think I messed that up. So wait, what did I... Yeah. Okay, I messed it up. So when X position is 63, oh, I reversed these. So put that right there. But the same thing applies. This number cannot be less than that number, and this number cannot be greater than that number. So once I fix it there, it should go. If you want to make it even simpler, this number has to be negative, or it could be positive. If you're following what I'm doing, I just think it's easier to do this way. This number cannot be negative, and this number cannot be positive. Just like this, or this number cannot be positive, and this number cannot be negative, and this number cannot be negative, and this one cannot be positive. In order to get to function, so basically, no matter what order you put this in, you can't have two negative numbers in a single script like that. Like one thing like that, and you can't have two positive numbers in one if-then statement like that on just this script. So I already showed you, once you do that, it should work. Go this way, and so what I'm going to do for you now, I'm going to just so you can see how we get the background to change, because right now it just looks like they're walking in an endless abyss, white abyss, or whatever. I'm just going to make number backdrops real quick. I'm not going to make, I'll just go 3 for right now, because it doesn't have to be 2, 3. Actually, I'm going to just go up to 5 just to make it simpler. So, going to here. So, there we go. So, once it's like that, you're going to want to go back into walking script. And right here, you're going to want to put it's very simple. You're just going to want to put a next costume. Put that before. Would you want to put it? I don't really think it matters. You can put it after or before. I put it before just so it appears and then it goes to right there. Now, it's very simple to make it go, because right now, if I just put a next costume there, the other one, yes, it goes. Oh, I messed up. Oh, I didn't mess up. I'm sorry. I should not have phrased it like that. I meant you're going to want to grab a next backdrop. Sorry. Very simple fix, though. Next backdrop. So if you do that next backdrop like that, yes, it works, but when you go forward, it's just going to go down. It's just going to keep going down. It's going to go up, so it's going to go from 3 up to 4, then up to 5, and that's okay, but then it does the same thing up this way. It's going to go up to 1, down to 2, then 3, then 4. It's going to go up for both things. I should have put this as a 5. So it's going to go 5, then 1, then 2, then 3, and same thing, instead of going, it's going to go up to 3. So it's a simple fix if you want to fix that. So what you're going to want to do is just get rid of the next backdrop, put a switch backdrop to, go into operators, grab a negative, a -1, put that right there, and then go into looks, or go into sound, and then just scroll up, and then grab a backdrop number, put the backdrop number in there, and then put that into, and then put 1 right there, just put a -1. So what that does is it shows when it reaches, when it is X position of the character is less than 163, it switches the backdrop to the backdrop number -1. So it switches the backdrop to the backdrop number, which if in this case it would be 4, -1, down to 3. And then it goes to 237. See, so it goes down. And this one, same thing. If the X position of the character is greater than 282, it just goes into next backdrop, because it will go to the next one, because there is not a previous backdrop thing. There's no previous go to previous backdrop. Well, there is. Actually, I didn't even see that there. There is a switch backdrop to previous backdrop. I thought there was. But anyways, I'm just going to keep it like that because I don't want to. I've never actually. I don't know if it works this time. I'm just going to try it real quick. Switch backdrop to. Previous backdrop. Let's see. Okay, so that does work. So you can keep previous backdrop there if you want to, or you can do that backdrop -1. If you're gonna put this like on public and have other people let other people recreate it and make it easier for the people to understand, like for a school or something, I would keep previous backdrop so it's easier to understand. But I'm just gonna use backdrop -1 because I don't know, I think it's more, I don't know. Because I think it's easy. For me, it's easier to understand. The backdrop number -1 is what it switches to. So then that's the backdrop change. So in the next, or actually, how long do we? 14 minutes. I'm going to quickly then add backdrop number. I'm going to add a backdrop. I'm going to add backdrops. So you're just going to delete all of these. Going to choose backdrop. if you're gonna make this an indoor, you can make this indoor if you want to. Like, you can use the different castle ones to make it like they're walking through a castle, but you obviously won't have as much. But I like using the outside, like, if you're using a realistic character, like if you want to import, or if you can draw realistically, if you want to draw a realistic character's walking cycle, I would recommend using the realistic backgrounds because you can get more, like you can change stuff and it's more kind of realistic because you can then use like this castle one and the field mixed with the hill and metro and cannon and boardwalk. You can put them all in the beach. You can put them all together. But if you use the cartoon like I do, you can't really use like Jurassic, for example, with blue sky, or forest with Night City, or for example, because it's different things. So I'm just going to use. Let's see. I want to use. I'm not going to use mountain because then there's no hill setting to go up the mountain for. I'm just going to use blue sky because it's a simple background. So what you want to do, you're going to want to duplicate that as much times as you want to. Six times I'm going to duplicate it, and then I'm going to just so it doesn't, it kind of has some like more options to it. I'm gonna put in the school setting, and I'm just gonna move that to somewhere randomly between them. So what you want to do is I'm going to first off change this color to green. And then, so what you're going to do is change it up a little bit so it doesn't look like it's the same background. For example, I'm just going to take these hills and make them some bigger and some smaller, and you can copy some and paste some, and yeah, copy, you can paste some, and I'm going to size that one. And if you want to, you can make it so the backdrop, you can make it so where like this backdrop, and when it's going this way, this backdrop and this backdrop kind of match up, so it doesn't look like it's two completely different settings. It looks kind of, yeah. So you just want to take a color and fill it. So I'm going to fill that bush in. And what you want to do once you fill it, you can move it to forward. So if I want, say, if I move this character, you can see that the bushes, it kind of doesn't look, it looks kind of like a cylinder because, but it's in front of both of those. So I'm just going to move it back one. So that bush is over top of it, but this one is over top of that one. If that makes sense, kind of. And if you want to, you can push it back so that one's over top. You can make it look neater if you want to, but I'm just going to use a simple kind of moving stuff around, making it bigger, smaller, kind of playing around with the settings of the thing, making it just look slightly different. You don't want it to look too different because then it looks like they're completely different things. You can also change the background if you want to. If you want to make it kind of a nighttime background, you can. Or if you want to keep it as daytime, you can do that too. Keep that in front like that. Oh, no, I don't like that the way that looks. I'm going to put that in front of that one and keep this one and move it forward. Yeah, I think I like that. Keep one. I'm just going to keep these ones. I'm going to move that one up taller. Now, you don't have to move them. If you want to keep one regular, one the same, you don't have to alter all of them. but I'm going to change most of these just so they kind of give some depth to the thing. And also, like for this one, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this a dark green color. Fill that. Well, then, instead of moving it, I'm going to put this one forward in front of it. And just drag it across so it looks like it's behind all of these ones. So it kind of looks like it's passed behind him. And then, so I have like 3 more. I'm going to change this one to... You can also take them away if you don't want bushes on one of them. You can always make one, like not have them, or like move this down further and then move all of these down if you don't want. And then you can just move them all down. Just take the sky and just move it down. So this one I'm going to keep the same. This one I'm going to move up, out, up, over, some jet up like that. And just go back and make sure that they don't look like any of the previous backdrops. And just to give it some diversity, I'm going to change how much time we have. Okay, so perfect timing. So that way, I'm going to go into here, and also, if you want to, what I'm going to do, put right there, like position the character where you want him, and in the forever loop, go to, just put a set Y to wherever you put them, put that in the forever loop, and then where you want them to start, put, instead of using the go to and put him outside when flag is clicked, I'm going to put a set X and set Y to, so that way the Y always stays the same once the flag is clicked, but the X only is the same when the flag is clicked. So if I try moving my character, see, it always just goes back, it always goes back to where it is. So as you can see, so there's a little dot there, as you can obviously tell that there's a dot there. I'll change that between the videos. So in the next video, I can probably make that a little bit neater. Oh yeah, there's the school. I forgot to put that there. So as you can see, you can now go back. It looks like a walking character walking through a town. So in the next video, I will be showing you. I will be putting a jumping script in, and I'll be putting a jumping script to show you how to jump. This make the character, you can make him jump. Or actually, I don't know. I'll think about that, and I'll just be improving it and making more features that you can use, like for the school, and I'm gonna try to figure out basically how to. I will be showing you guys how you can make interactive stuff, like in the background, like click on the door and like you can go into the school or click on stuff, and yeah, I'll just be improving it and adding some stuff to it. So stay tuned for the next part.